Hey guys, welcome to Judas David. Today I'm going to be telling you guys about the top 10 states people are moving to and the top 10 states people are moving out of. This list comes from 2021 and is from the US Postal Service. We're going to start with the states that had the most people moving away. Number 10 is Wisconsin. They have really cold winters and the taxes are probably kind of high, so it makes sense. On the other hand, I know Wisconsin has some of the best education systems in the country. They experienced a net loss of 10,000 families. That means there are 10,000 more families that moved out than moved in. Number 9 is Michigan. They lost 11,000 families. Most of them said the reason was family, retirement, or employment. Number 8 is Indiana. Indiana had a net loss of 12,000 families. Indiana has a really low cost of living, but they don't pay very much, so people move to the neighboring states to make more money. They also have pretty high taxes on retirement. Number 7 is Colorado. They lost just over 12,000 families. A lot of people leaving Colorado are going to Texas and Arizona. Maybe they want warmer weather or cheaper real estate. Number 6 is Washington. They lost over 13,000 families. A lot of them are moving to Oregon and Idaho because it's a little bit cheaper there. Number 5 is Massachusetts. They lost 15,500 people because a lot of people realized they could work remotely, so they're moving to less densely populated places. Retirement was also one of the top reasons. Number 4 is Pennsylvania. They lost 18,000 households, a lot of that due to job loss. Pennsylvania is actually one of the places I love to visit. They have some amazing waterfall hikes. Check this out.
You're having fun, Owen?
Number 3 is Illinois. This is way more than any of the other states we've talked about. They had 29,000 households leave. Remember, this is net loss. That means there are 29,000 more outbound moves than inbound moves. They have really high taxes, bad weather, and rising crime. Number 2 is New York, which is way crazier than Illinois' loss. They lost 75,000 families. New York was one of the hardest hit places during the pandemic. As a result, a lot of people moved away from the high density places in New York to live in another state. There tends to be a trend going on here. People want warmer weather, lower taxes, and less population density. Now, for the number 1 state that lost more households than any other state in the country is California. I probably shouldn't be too excited about that because I live in California. I'm actually not very surprised because California is the most populated state in the country. I don't really care what the reasons are people have to leave California because I'm still living here and I'm enjoying it. Now that we talked about the sad part, let's talk about the happy part. Which states are growing the fastest? At number 10 is Idaho. Idaho grew by 1,800 families in 2021. Idaho is really popular because it's not as crowded as some of the other states around there. It's a low cost of living and it's really beautiful. Check out this waterfall. This was in Idaho. Number 9 is Delaware. They grew by 2,200 households last year. Delaware has low housing prices, a strong job market, and low taxes. Those 3 things aren't very easy to find in that part of the country. Number 8 is Maine. A lot of people are flocking to Maine to avoid the more crowded areas of the Northeast. They gained 2,500 households in 2021. Now that more people are working remotely, they're moving away from the more expensive places like Massachusetts. Who would have thought Delaware and Maine would be on the top 10 list? Number 7 is Nevada. They gained over 3,100 households. A lot of people from Oregon, Washington, and even Florida are moving to Nevada because they don't like the humidity. They want nice weather for their retirement. Nevada's also in driving distance from a lot of really cool places. Nevada borders California, Utah, Arizona, and even Oregon and Idaho. Number 6 is Tennessee. I'm actually surprised that's not first or second because I know a lot of people moving to Tennessee. Young families and retirees are moving there because it's beautiful and it has a low cost of living. I like visiting Tennessee. There's a lot to do and see there. Here are some things we did. Tennessee gained a whopping 4,500 families in 2021. Number 5 is Georgia. They gained over 5,000 households in 2021. Georgia has a lot of outdoor things to offer. They have beaches and mountains. They also have mild winters and they have tropical summers. Check out this rain and lightning that we saw when we went to Georgia. Before we continue, I have to tell you guys that the last 4 on this list are actually counting the number of people, not households. It's possible that these last 4 or 5 on the list might not actually be higher than Tennessee. Number 4 on the list is North Carolina. They gained over 9,000 people. I've been to Charlotte. It's a pretty nice place. There's a lot of forests. The thing I didn't like about North Carolina is there wasn't many highways. You kind of had to take small roads around to get around the state. But people are moving there because of the low cost of living and the low taxes. Number 3 on the list is South Carolina. South Carolina gained over 10,000 people. It's interesting how South Carolina is so high on the list because I've heard that it's one of the worst places to live, just according to some lists. They have really high crime there, and maybe that's why the cost of living is so low. The hurricanes aren't really a selling point either, but there's a lot of people moving there, so they must like it. Number 2 on the list is Florida. People are moving there for low taxes and sunshine, but what they forgot is there's hurricanes and humidity. Actually, I like Florida. Our family loves Florida. We've been to Central Florida, the Panhandle. We went all the way to the Keys, actually. Recently, we just did a soccer camp in Florida. This is the part of the video that you guys have all been waiting for. The state that grew the most in 2021 is Texas. Texas has a lot to offer. I don't know if their population will ever catch up to California, but it's been growing steadily for years. Lots of businesses are moving there because it's business friendly and there's low taxes. The weather is pretty nice in Texas, although it is kind of humid in some parts. The number 1 thing that I've noticed with these 2 lists are people are moving to places that have lower taxes. With inflation and all the other things going on in the world, people are trying to find a way to save their money. Another thing I've noticed is a lot of people are now working remotely, so they're moving to the suburbs and even out into the country to have more space. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It'll be interesting to look at the data from 2022 once the year is over. Thanks for watching. Bye.